Hello and welcome back to the Dad Space Connects With podcast, the show that takes a deep dive into the trials and tribulations of what it's like to be a dad and brings some of those difficult conversations to the forefront. I'm your host, Sean Barker, and these are my co-hosts, Luke Wilkinson and Lucas Carter. Today we'll be talking about Christmas as a parent. So on your little list here, we've got Brussels sprouts, yes or no, but we're scrapping that, aren't we?
Scrapping it.
We're scrapping that. What we're going into?
Christmas films. I think there's a bit more of a debate in Christmas films than there is Christmas dinner, because I think Christmas dinner gets political. Film is a bit more variety, so it's easier to understand.
So Christmas films, but you want to talk about Brussels sprouts, don't you?
Yeah, bacon.
Yeah, bacon.
A bit of bacon
Classic.
round and a bit of goose fat.
Goose fat.
Athlete me. Athlete.
Yeah, that is next level, mate.
As you can tell, I've been working out since the last podcast. Yeah, no, Brussels sprouts, but got to be bacon, goose fat.
It does sound good.
Anything else that, just normal Brussels sprouts on their own should be illegal.
Are you happy now?
Eh?
You happy now?
Huh?
Yeah.
Movies it is.
We'll get onto the films now.
Movie it is.
Go on then, films. Have you got like a traditional film you watch, i.e. Christmas Eve, or is it just a film that you love the most? Is there something that makes you feel festive and Christmassy?
So when I was at home in Mum and Dad, so it was the first year living out, so it's kind of like setting new things up now. So last year, well, all the years before, it was always Muppets Christmas Carol on Christmas Eve, Chinese. That's Christmas Eve done. Now it's always a set Christmas film. I got bored of it because I've got a very short attention span. But this year it's something completely new. So I don't know, quite up in the arms. We've both got different tastes to what we like. Like I like Elf, but she thinks it's a bit stupid. Like no stupid funny or funny. She thinks it's stupid funny, so she don't really get along with it.
So it's a bit of a give and take, though, isn't there? Christmas films.
Yeah. Well, it's more take. It's not much leeway going either way, to be honest with you. So no, I like Elf, but then we both agree the Santa Claus by Tim Allen's like a go-to. They did series last year, so that was a bit of fun. But
you have to pick
Santa
one.
Claus.
You've got to pick one.
Me, Santa Claus, Tim Burton, number one. Tim Burton, Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, wrong one. That's
I ain't seen that one with Tim Burton. Got him, Wilko.
Is that the rip-off? Is that one down Johnny Market?
Tim Burton's director of a Christmas film.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there you are.
That's a bit of a nibble. So a serious one, we'll go with Last Christmas. The one that's got the George Michael music in it and that. And it's, have you ever seen it?
I haven't.
I won't spoil it, but it's a tad emotional when you get the storyline. Have you guys seen it? Last Christmas? No? Okay, on my own.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's a great
help. You got none.
I was like, lads, help me out.
Sell it.
Like, no, they're selling it. I won't ruin the storyline, but watch it. It's on Netflix. If we're allowed to say Netflix?
You've said it.
Said it twice.
Of course
now, yeah. So that's a serious one, and a silly one, Arthur Christmas.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Arthur Christmas, great film.
That is very good.
Yeah. And as a kid, what did I go to? Muppets Christmas Carol scared me as a kid. Couldn't get my head around it. Just could not get my head around it. And probably the Santa Claus, not your Santa Claus, but you know, the old one.
Is that the Dudley Moore one?
Yes.
Santa Claus the movie.
Unbelievable. Better than your Tim Burton.
So we've got
a lot of people there.
I've got two. Well, I've got two. That's probably not just myself, but the families. We have Home Alone, which is a classic, of course.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack.
Done well there.
So that used to be the 1st of December. You had to watch Home Alone. My wife doesn't like it, and the youngest ones don't like it. So it's just mine and my eldest kind of thing. We're desperate to watch Home Alone, and we always get bullied out of it now. Grinch has kind of taken over the Jim Carrey one. So there's those two that was always the go-to, but there is a lot now. There's a lot of good ones.
So many, isn't there?
And because there's a family of 5, it becomes more difficult to try and get one where we all sit down and watch it together.
That's like the House of Parliament, your ass, isn't it? Everyone's got to put a vote in who they want to watch.
Yeah, well, you've got enough time. So we start Christmas on the 1st of December. So tree gets delivered, trimmings, kind of decorations. First film, have to watch it on December the 1st. So that's kind of like our tradition now within our family. And there's always a film. It used to be Home Alone, then it was Grinch, and then it's starting to change just because the majority rules.
Wow.
There is some good films.
Die Hard, Christmas film or not?
I was about to ask about this.
Yeah, it's acceptable.
Thank you.
It is acceptable. Is it no?
Because so what happens? They have a Christmas party, so it's set at Christmas.
No, it isn't. It's like saying Frozen's a Christmas film because it's set in the winter and there's snow.
Yeah,
no,
that's
it's not a
for
Christmas
me.
film. Where is the festive spirit in
Well,
Frozen.
the first 10 minutes when having a great Christmas party, and then it all goes pear-shaped.
Frozen. Yeah. You tell me in Frozen.
Oh, Frozen. It's just cold, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm done with you.
So any other traditions? So I've obviously talked about the 1st of December. That's where it starts. We've got the films. Anything in particular? Anything special that happens in your household that you would class as a tradition?
Oh, it's tough. I mean, there's always Christmas Day. We always go up to the Creb on Christmas Day and see, obviously, people we've lost throughout the year and stuff like that, or in the past. And we always go to a pub afterwards for a drink. And then, to be honest, the rest of it's just standard. Sit down, wait for your dinner, and then chill out, sort of thing. So, I don't think there's anything really specific in the period for me. I do, but that's why I say we've just moved out this year. So for us, it's about setting up traditions now. So pulled a blinder, to be fair, because her parents are going away to New York on Boxing Day, so they're doing Christmas Day on Christmas Eve. Yeah. So I'm getting 2 Christmas dinners. So I get to have one at their house and one at mum and dad's house. So one I don't have to cook, and 2 I'm getting 2 Christmas dinners. So that's a tradition I would like to carry on, but I don't think it's going to happen. So
I thought you were going to say you've pulled a worldie because they were going away, and I thought they can listen.
They can listen.
Yeah. But that's the Christmas. Well, you struggled with your Christmas dinner yesterday. So 2 days,
mate. It's because it was 3 courses. Christmas dinner for me is breaking down more because I was having to rush 3 courses into it because it was team away day because it was all crushed into one. There was probably a tad bit too much cream in tomato soup. Like, I think they spilled half the pot in it, to be honest with you. So it was like I filled up with cream, and I've got this massive Christmas dinner in front of me. Brussels sprouts weren't done in bacon and goose fat.
No, they weren't. But you got to give
I
and
ate
take. Didn't pay for it
like that.
Didn't pay for it. Didn't pay for it.
Hey, well, I could. And then there's some like cheesecake after. So to be fair, it's a very filling dinner.
Yeah.
So I couldn't finish it.
Okay.
I think I've done it.
Wilko, anything? Tradition?
Not really. And I don't want to out my parents who didn't do anything. I think as a kid, it was very much Christmas Day was always carnage. It was up early, and then there was some form of argument. Then either set the day up to be an absolute shambles or set it up to be better. And then when we were younger, we used to walk to my brother's at night for your Christmas buffet, as you do. You fill up with dinner and then go around there. So that was quite cool. But then the older we got, it was very much sit round, eat dinner. And then when I started getting girlfriends, it was Christmas dinner and then go around their house, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So
nice.
not many traditions, just kind of... And then if my mum and dad were working nights, Christmas Eve, it was interesting because then you knew when your presents delivered because that's when Keith or Sue came in. So you knew you could go down at 6:15, they're in from the night shift, so you're ready to go.
Yeah. So we've with our families, so mum and dad, we always had Christmas Eve with our auntie and uncle and their kids. So from probably being about 4 or 5. So we've got a tradition. We still do it. It's kind of petered away because everyone lives in different areas. My brother lives in Spain. My sister does her own thing at Christmas, but we still have a small gathering. So me and my wife will still go with our kids. We'll see mum and dad. My auntie and uncle will be there. So that's always been a nice thing, Christmas Eve, building up to Christmas. And then obviously different things happen when you have a new family and you start your own traditions as well. So we've had some of it is stuck forever. And talking about Santa Claus, the movie, that was Christmas Eve. So I think we sat down about 3:00, Santa Claus, the movie, then off you go to, your glad rags on to go and eat at a Toby Carver or something. Yeah. So that was our tradition that's carried on, still going. But I suppose you start to create your own different ones, don't you?
So one thing we did get, and I've not mentioned it, Radio Times. You used to rush to get that because it had all your Christmas in there.
The full schedule, didn't it?
Unbelievable. Yeah. You'd circle what you want and all the Christmas specials. Proper Christmas specials. Yeah. When they proper did them proper. I don't say proper a little bit more proper. But yeah, like Only Fools and Horses, One Foot in the Grave, EastEnders when it used to be decent, even though I still love it, but like there used to be some proper good storylines.
Coronation Street. Slander at EastEnders,
No, it's fun. It's fun. But it'll be good this year because who's done it? There's 6 women, something's happened. I'm looking forward to that Christmas Day.
Completely lost me with that.
No, don't. Honestly, Christmas Day, watch it, and then you'll text me going, see what you mean.
I'm going to tell you straight out, I'm not.
I'm
not wasting my time, no.
Come on.
I'm not. It doesn't matter what you say.
Come on.
The Radio Times talking about EastEnders, not a chance.
This is the man that won't own a Christmas jumper, so it's not.
Yeah, that's quite Christmassy.
Thank you. It's Christmassy enough. Yeah, there you go. That will do for me.
It's 2023. If you think that's Christmas,
thank you.
It's Christmas.
I like that. Lovely.
At Connected, we provide free perinatal peer support for parents across Derby. We have an absolutely fantastic team of volunteers who do 6 months of training to provide one-to-one and group support to parents across the city. The groups are bump to babies groups and dads groups where parents can come along, meet other parents with their children, share their struggles and successes of parenthood, have a hot drink and a biscuit or two, and generally get looked after. They're not like your stereotypical mum and baby groups where you go to do something with your baby. It's very much a focus on the parents and getting support. We recognise that dads quite often get overlooked during the stages of pregnancy, birth and beyond. So as well as Dad Space that we do with Derby County Community Trust, we're looking to expand the offer for dads in Derby so that they can access more support during that time.
So we've gone traditions, we've gone nostalgia. Let's hit the nitty gritty. Statman has got some stats. We've got a few things that we'd like to talk about.
And he's done the paper the wrong way around.
I've flipped on the wrong edge, so I've flipped on short edge, not long edge. So
like that, doesn't it?
But it depends how you like to flip. If you want to flip that way, you can do. If you want to flip that way, it don't work.
Don't listen to Wilko.
Stuck up for you. Come on.
Sure, Wilko.
Come on.
I think Christmas can be quite a it's dressed up as a nice festive period, and it's all exciting, all the kids getting presents, and I think we get very much distracted by kids having a great time, but parents, it's like, you two can probably vouch for this, it's probably one of the most stressful times of the year for the fact of you've got presents to buy, you've got decorations to put up, you've got all these Christmas markets or school plays and things like that to catch up on, and whilst maintaining regular working life. And it's backed up by a couple of stories I found. So there's one in the US that was done based on 2,000 parents in 2021. And 1 in 5 parents feel too stressed over the Christmas period to enjoy the day at all. So the whole day is just completely wiped out, useless. It's not fun, they don't enjoy it. With then a third of that 1 in 5 parents saying that their stress comes from Christmas shopping, various festive activities and tasks, in addition to keeping family members and household finances in check. So it's also one of the most expensive times of the year, which is then backed up by, I'm going to whack all my stats out here doors and I can whack onto the talking points, which is then backed up by, I will breathe in a minute, I'll be red in the face so I don't look as pale on camera. So the average household in the UK spends about £2,500 a month, but in Christmas they typically spend an extra £740 a month, which is a 29% increase, which is on top of it being winter, so your energy bills go up. Electricity bills go up, so all these things are piling on top and compounding on parents. So during this time, when they say January is like wipe out, emotionally, financially, mentally, I can imagine it's like a nice sigh of relief just to think, right, that's over with, I can start to recover now. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how relatable you find this stuff with, especially with the finance side of things or with the present buying side of things and the time. Obviously, for you as a footballer, it'll be interesting to get your insight what it's like. And, do you have a lot of time around Christmas time to kind of relax, or is it more the busy football period takes over?
Well, when you're playing, it's non-stop. It's probably your busiest time of the year. Kind of the time with your family is precious, and you have the obviously the parties, which you won't be drinking at. You'll just be driving and making sure the kids are okay. And I've had Christmas days off, but I've also been in Christmas Day for Boxing Day games. So it's not ideal, but when you've done that when you were 16 up to, I retired at 36, I think, so 20 years of being in professional football, it's just normal. I was playing in Blackpool and we had to drive back Christmas Eve for the traditional meal out.
Of course.
Drive back to kind of get home for training the next morning. Then as soon as training finished, we'd drive back to Nottingham to obviously see family. So, but that was normal, and it's what we did because we wanted to go for the meal in the evening, and we wanted to be there on Christmas Day. And then you've obviously got Boxing Day. You can't really have your double Christmas dinners and your extra Brussels sprouts with bacon and goose fat. You had to be careful, but that was being a professional footballer. Now, when you go into the academy and you're coaching, you have time off, which is lovely. You have time off. I don't know when we're off this year, but just say we're off from the 23rd. You might have 7, 10, 12 days where you're actually at home with family. So it's a real shift change for us around the Christmas period. And it's something I love being at home, love being with the family, and love Christmas as well. So, unsurprising, I pretty much love everything, don't I? So, sometimes you want some honesty, and I'm just happy about stuff. But being honest, I've noticed a huge difference when you play professional football and you paid good money, and that stress for money isn't there. And it's different when you finish playing and you do have the stresses of making sure you can kind of cover bills over the Christmas period, and obviously the stress that comes with providing for the kids. I hate people on social showing these Christmas trees with about 1,000 presents. It disgusts me. I really dislike the whole idea of someone showing off what they've got the kids and going over the top. I just think you ask what they want for the presents, and they normally come up with some ridiculous ideas, and you filter that and you do ones that you think they're going to like and which ones they'll enjoy. And going over the top is something I really dislike. So you've got to make it work for yourself, for your family, for your kids. The other thing I will say is I'm always disappointed watching the kids when they've finished opening the presents. And I think that's one of the pressures that comes with it.
It's done.
Because it's done. And I remember being a kid myself, and when you finish opening that last present, you were like, oh, that's it. And watching my kids, I love the excitement of opening something, then chuck it out the way, and then opening something else, chuck it out the way.
So you're not the stereotypical dad that's like, oh, let's see what you've got for Christmas, because you generally have a clue.
Yeah.
Or you're quite involved with the gift buying process.
I'm involved in pretty much all of it. I do most of it, always have done.
Yeah,
well, but Christmas for me has always been an amazing time. My big family, Christmas was the time to celebrate and spend with loved ones. And I know it's not the same with every family. I was very fortunate with the upbringing I had. Obviously mentioned last time that the parents were foster parents, so we often had like 8-9 foster kids in the house, and seeing them kind of probably have the first proper Christmas in terms of love, support, family presence is kind of overwhelming as a young child. So I've had nothing but love, but the pressure of Christmas in terms of the finances, and whether you do all the wrapping, decorating, there is extra stuff you have to go to. I just think if you can kind of picture the faces of the kids when they come down and see the elf getting up to mischief, or the beauty of putting up a tree with your family, it kind of, even if you're not feeling the energy and desire to do it, it kind of overrides that. And I think that's parenting in general. Sometimes you just don't want to get up in the night, or you don't want to go and play on the park when you just want half an hour to yourself. But being there doing it, that kind of the beauty of being a dad kind of overrides all those difficulties. But I don't know, Wilko, the stressful thing with the finance, I can completely understand.
So go back to when Zach was first born. His first Christmas was ridiculous because we just went chaotic. And I think it wasn't a show it off, but we just didn't know what to do. So we're just like, right, get him everything. But he was 6 months old. So you got to like March and there's still things in boxes, and then we're thinking, actually, he's never going to use this because now he's too old. Now you're trying to sell it. So we went a bit crazy. And now it's starting, like you were saying, we're starting to slow it down. But now Zach's 7. Some of the stuff he's asking for is probably worth more than all those presents were together. And you're going, where are we going to get this from? And now we've got Casper. You're now looking at 2 lads making sure to get the right amounts, and we've got to really look at it. And this year, with Sam being on maternity, we're on a bit of a budget, even though we don't want to be on a budget, but we've got to be, because like Lucas was saying, in January, we're going, right, if we go all out, we'll have a great Christmas Day, great Boxing Day, and we'll enjoy it till New Year. And then as soon as the clock strikes 12, we'll be going, right, the next 30 days are going to be a struggle. So we're trying to balance it up. So Sam's been really good with the budget. With that side of things, going, right, that's what they're getting. So I think we're going to get it on point, and we'll try and keep that every year. But what frightens me is others thinking about others, and I know you shouldn't do that, but we're very fortunate we can pay the bills and we can have nice food on the table and still run a budget, and it's a very healthy budget, but still a budget. And what worries me is other people around that can't do a third of what we could do, and then you start to feel guilty. But sometimes now you've got kids, you've got to put that to the back of your mind, going, actually, it's really sad, and I'll do everything we can. So the food drive, can we drop some tins off? Can we wrap a couple of selection boxes? And I know it's not everything, but we can then sit there on Christmas Day and go, do you know what, we try to do our bit. So in a roundabout way, we love Christmas, but this year is going to be the one where we've gone, right, we've got to settle it right down and just calm a little bit rather than going mad. And I think it's the first year as well that the house is decorated but not fully decorated. Sam got not upset, and she'll probably still go, I didn't get upset, but in her head she's going, the tree should be up, that should be doing, that's not done, I've not organised this. But at the same time, she's on maternity, she's a mum of two, there's lots of demands going on, and I think that's where sometimes social media, like you were saying, Sean, so it relates to that can be a bit of a killer, because you're going, oh, did you see their reel last night? It's unbelievable. But I kind of get the sense it's like, I said to her on the phone earlier, we're like a duck on water at the minute. People will see us go, Wilko and Sam are just floating along, but underneath our legs are flapping like anything. But no one sees that because you don't want anyone to see it. So we're just in that stage of trying to settle down and not let the boys see it and just try and be, right, we've got this, but not get too carried away.
I think some of it's experience in terms of, you said when the first one was born, 6 months into it, like they never remember it. You don't need this stuff. And then you probably learn for the following year and the following year. And again, it's probably about what they would want. They want everything. That's what kids, are there for. They want to ask for a million different things. And what do they need? What's going to be important for them this Christmas? And I always think it's I know it's not about the presents. It's not. No. And we used to buy for aunties, so I was talking about Christmas Eve and buy aunties, uncles, cousins. Yeah. So we used to buy for everyone.
Everyone says everyone else that comes with that, and it's not just kids. It's
exactly,
else
and
comes
nephews and nieces. And what I did, I think it was about 5 years ago. I said we're not buying anyone presents, but I'm going to pay for an experience for the family. So once a year, all of us will go out. This is adults because obviously I want to have a beer. Kids, forget it. We'll do something together. So we'll go out. I'll do something creative and we'll just experience being together because we're all over the country, and that means so much more to all of us. I often tell my mum, don't get kids plastic toys that we don't need anymore. We get them something that they can experience. And I think they went walking with llamas last year with my mum and dad. So actually like thinking about what you're spending your money on and why it's important. And as your parents get older and, more, there's going to be a time when they're not going to have time with their grandkids and not be here with their grandkids. So go and enjoy spending quality time. And for Christmas, I know I get excited about the presents and disappointed, but it is so much more than that. And the finance side of things is a struggle, but I do think you learn as you get a little bit older and a little bit wiser with kids that it's not just about getting 100 presents under the tree. It's about kind of the thought and the process going into that. Yeah,
and you talk about age there. A UK study from, again, 2021 found that 49% of 25 to 34-year-old parents compared to that of the 38% and 30% of the 45, 54 and the 55 plus bracket of aged parents, so the younger parents compared to the older parents, are more stressed about finances, whether that be for career or experience or whatever it may be. So you're talking 25 to 34 years old. Obviously, it's a 9-year bracket, but then anything plus that, so 45 plus, you're talking a difference of what? How good your maths, Wilko? Not very good. 11% between the next bracket. Yeah, that's silly. I realised I said that.
As soon as you said it, you're like, who's,
but you're looking at 11% difference between two age brackets, and you're thinking, is that economically, is that the way they're dealing with things, or what could be? And I think, like I say, it's probably a mix of career and obviously you're earning more as you're getting older, or but it's also, like you said, experience of not splashing out all the money straight away and being in a different position to provide those things. So like I say, it's tricky, isn't it? I think it's just managing things and creating meaningful memories more so than spending the money and saying, oh look, I'm going to show them. Like some people show their love through buying presents and gift giving, and that's how they do it, and that's fine. But Christmas time for kids, you want to create memories, you want to create traditions, something new for them. Like I say, experience walking with llamas and doing an experience with just the older people is what it's about. It's having fun at that time. Having a reason to get together is more the reason of Christmas than it is buying the gifts.
Yes, and then you also have to think about the world we live in now. A 12-year-old no longer wants a Scootex or a Ford Mustang, a bike or something like that. They want an iPhone, iPad. which then is 500, 700 quid. It's ridiculous. So the expectations is there because of what they see every day, but how the world's changed, they see all their friends using on a daily basis. It becomes more difficult, and I bet that stress and that expectation of delivering.
It's the pressure from outside, isn't it? Like,
correct,
social media and seeing what everyone else is delivering, and kids going in school saying, I got this and I got that. And then obviously they'll come back up saying, they got this, I got that. And, they draw comparisons, and then you feel bad. And it's just, it depends obviously how you manage things and how you bring up your kids as to how they take that on board, isn't it? And what you make Christmas about. So obviously there is a part of it is about the gift giving and the fun of it. Because like I say, it's fun to open gifts, and not everyone accepts that. And as you get older, there's less, and it's really sad. So, mine's going to be miserable this year.
I've only asked for one present this year, and you were dead proud. A pair of Crocs.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. So if Santa brings those Crocs, I'm laughing.
That's it.
I did try them on in a shop that I won't name.
That's unbelievable.
And they fitted lovely. They felt comfortable.
Was it from the first episode?
100%, yeah.
Congratulations.
Do you know what?
I'm just a trailblazer. It's just what I do. I just inspire.
And then I've asked for a pair of slippers off my parents. So Crocs and a pair of slippers.
You can get Croc slippers if you want.
No, I think that's too far. Just go Crocs and slippers.
As soon as you start asking for slippers, pants, socks, you're getting at a certain age.
Yeah, and then you ask for certain deodorants. You don't want to be ungrateful and say I want this gift set. And again, I won't name the brand, but you always get that, and you go, yeah, can I? So you kind of go, I'll have this because it smells a lot nicer on me, and it lasts a lot longer. And I'm not 11 anymore, so can I have some adult spray, please?
Adult, please.
Yeah, I'm an adult, please. Can I have some adult spray? Yeah, no, not too old. But on that stressful one, going back to being serious, is that I get it. Like when they say your knowledge gets better the older you are, and people go, oh yeah, people always say that, but it generally is true because you learn from your mistakes. And I think we had in the other episode that it's okay to go splash out the first year and go try and be that best parent you want to do, because that's just instinct. You want to make sure they have the best Christmas ever, but you do learn. You go, actually, once there's about 3-4 jigsaw puzzles have not been open for 2 years, you've gone too far. And you're looking Zach's room and we're going, it's got about 60 size 5 footballs that are all like £25-30 a pop, and me and Sam are counting and going, oh, and you're thinking, what? And we keep saying to him, you don't need any more, but you'll see on TikTok or he'll watch the Premier League football going, oh my God, they've got a winter ball out, they've got this out, and you're like, yeah. So we've had to can him a little bit, but then what was said to him, the ones that he doesn't use, we're going to donate him to the refugee centre. And that's not us trying to go, oh, look at the Wilkinsons, they're trying to do this, but we're trying to show Zach that, look, you've had this years with the football, give him to someone
it's
who...
It's not taking, it's given.
Yeah, and he's slowly getting it, and we're not trying to do it to prove a point or go, oh, look, we've got, and we can just give things away. We're trying to, a bit of, not charity work, we're trying to show Zach the meaning of recycling gifts, and so he understands. So the older he gets, we might get a recycled gift for Christmas. Doesn't mean it's not good. It just means
the value of one thing from one person to the other.
100%.
Like that football to him could be worth nothing, but to another kid in the refugee centre,
yeah,
it
we
could
were
be
saying
worth
that. We were saying that
so
if we
much.
gave those 3 footballs to the refugee centre, those kids would be like
buzzing.
We normally use sellotape or elastic bands, and that's generally the truth. And we're trying to show that to Zach, and he couldn't get his head around it. We were like, you've got to think where the country we live in. Yes, we've got the living crisis there and there, but we are very lucky to be the country we're living in. I know you don't watch the news, but it's just chaos everywhere else. So we're just trying to show him. It's tough because he doesn't get it. It's like, yeah, but they're my footballs. Yeah, mate, but you don't need that many. It's ridiculous, but it keeps them in pristine condition. They're literally out the box. He'll baby wipe them, wash them, put them back, and believe.
Have you told him they're for kicking? Or you told him they're for kicking or heading, actually? Yeah.
Well, he's not allowed to head this year in his league.
Is it not?
Heading's banned in his league this year, yeah.
Which
just caused a bit of a stir. And I get it, but our kids now at the back, I won't go into that because it's not about the podcast, but we will. But the team I manage now is the ball will come over and I'm old school, like go edit and get rid of it. They duck and the kid goes through and goal and they score. And I look at the ref going, you're killing me. You're killing me. Just let him edit. Just let him edit. But you're not allowed. So anyway, that's not. So the value of Christmas, we're trying to show that to Zach. It's going to take a couple of years, probably till about 10.
It's a bit of probably a tradition creeping in.
100%. without us knowing it, that we're trying to say, look, you've had this for a couple of years, you don't need this anymore, it's in great condition, you can either give it or sell it on Vinted, get some money for, do you see what I mean? So then if you want an expensive Christmas present after Christmas, we'll go, look, you've got this amount of money, off you go. So he's not earned it, we're not trying to make him work for it, but we're trying to say, look, we can't keep dishing out and tapping the cards all the time, because it's just not going to last. And we've got Casper now, so if you do it, he'll want it.
Yeah,
and we are stuffed.
I mean, talking about stress at Christmas, we're going to keep going back to stress, aren't we? But ironically, we're talking about creating memories and being around people. For 71% of people who are stressed at Christmas time, they found that being alone was the most effective way to alleviate stress. So getting away from everyone at Christmas time was their way of just going, I can breathe. Yeah. Which is ironic, because that's the whole point of Christmas, that you spend it with people around you and have all this fun and
that's kind memories. That's what people think Christmas is. Yeah. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, and it's interesting. So the other ways that the alleviated stress was 55% said that listening to music helped, 46% exercise, 28% turned to religion, getting help from other family members, 23%, and then someone I know at this table is definitely going to be falling in this 15% bracket is work. That'll be you, because I guarantee I'm going to get an email, at least 3-4 emails over the Christmas period.
I'll delay it so you don't get it until the 3rd. It might say sent on the 27th, but you won't get it until the 3rd, so you don't need to worry about that. But you know, this I'm not trying to be controversial or anything at all, so please don't think I am. But the religious one, people, obviously, Christmas is a religious time of the year.
Yeah.
So for me, is that getting away, or did he turn another form of religion to get away from? I'm a bit confused on that.
I think that might be. So I think this all ties into that same study of the people within Britain in 2021. So 71% of the people that did that study were stressed at Christmas, then turned to religion. So the stress could come from all the factors such as Christmas dinner, money and finances, same thing. Then turn to religion to get away from things and relax and breathe. So.
Which is an interesting one, isn't it? Because sometimes that could turn somebody away from religion, and you're thinking, but then they might follow a new faith that totally blanks Christmas out, which is their get away from things. It's interesting, isn't it? And it kind of, I'll never say never, but that way of thinking, not that I struggle to understand it, but I love to have a deep and meaningful conversation with somebody who's done that, to fully understand it as you always do. So you're not being arrogant, or you're just trying to do it because you want to be nosy. You just want to go, actually, what is it? How has it affected your life, and what's changed? So if anybody's listened and done that, honestly, I'd love to have a conversation with them. Yeah. Honestly, 100%.
It did surprise me when we saw that 71% of people stressed at Christmas wanted to be alone, and you presume that they want to then spend time with family, because that's what, in theory, Christmas is about. We talk about family, we talk about love, and getting to gatherings and getting together and seeing people you haven't seen. But clearly, people just need space. They need time. I don't know how much is based on the fact that sometimes just being alone and being by yourself and being at home is cheaper as well, in terms of, if you go out to a party, you're going to be spending money. If you go out to do something, it's the fuel costs, it's all these things. But I presume it's just that peace and quiet. If you've got the build up, you're talking about the expectation as a parent, as a dad for Christmas, to provide presents and provide kind of love, support, go to nativities. I think it's the first time this year I've not seen my kids' nativity. So wow. These kind of things kind of are not expected, but you want to do them, and you feel that little bit of stress, if you're doing the shopping, and then you've got to do the elf, and there's so many things combining to get you into a anxiety state of stressful moment, and building up to Christmas where you just think, I'll just let it go by enjoying myself. Well, actually, that's just peace and quiet, that tranquility, that moment to kind of have a bit of peace for yourself. And we talked about it last time with kind of depression and stuff. Sometimes it's just about having half an hour to yourself. It's what it's like being a dad. It's just having a bit of space. And I think because you see the beauty of Christmas and people having a great time and laughing and enjoying themselves, you just presume that everyone wants that. 100%. They want to enjoy that, but clearly that's not the case.
No. And you've mentioned it a few times, so I'm going to bring it up. Elf on a Shelf. Oh my Lord. how do people keep all this? Like, I know I've seen it on like Facebook and social media and stuff. The extremes parents will go to put this massive effort into elf. You can buy like little packs now, like mischief packs, like Elf on the Shelf. So the brand itself is like expanded massively.
Yeah.
I think the dolls are creepy. How you put those up in your ass and you couldn't scream the ass.
We've got two of them now.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. They're creepy.
Well,
as
I
anything.
don't. Sam does it, so I'm not taking any credit if she listens to this. So, yeah, the other day she did one, and I nearly sweeped up. I came down in the morning going, who's dropped crackers there? What's going on here? And I shouted up, she went, that's the Elf on the Shelf, Wilko. I was like, oh yeah, silly elf.
So you weren't having crackers the night before and just put an elf there because you couldn't be bothered to...
I got up and, me in the morning, absolute worldie of a man in the morning, all the looks in the world. And I walked downstairs, made a cup of tea, I was thinking, you locked up last night. It's a disgrace. She's like, but she's listening to this going, he's an idiot. But
again, the Elf on the Shelf thing came through social media, through, and then it's like about trumping the next person. Oh, I did this. Look how clever I am. Look at the next thing. It's a show off. But saying that, so my eldest now does the Elf on the Shelf for the kids.
Yeah.
We couldn't find the elf in the garage the other day when I'm finding the Christmas decorations, so we're now sweating. Fortunately, we found out that Santa found the elf at the Amazon. He went, he'd been naughty in Amazon, so he got delivered, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, great.
Thank you very much.
Unbelievable.
But she now loves doing it, and the reason, like, I don't mind Elf on the Shelf. It's a gimmick, and it's taken over Christmas in some ways the last 3 or 4 years with the build up and with the pressure of doing something different every day. But if you see the kid's face every morning coming downstairs to see the elf, to see what he's been up to, that's the beauty of it. Forget about how clever someone can be and how much of a show off they want to be, and how much kind of maybe time and thought goes into it, and the tidying up crackers.
I didn't tidy it up either. So she'll be reading it going, listening to it going, you didn't even tidy it up. No, I went to work, I let you do that.
But if you see them, you see the reaction. For me, that's the Christmas for the kids.
Yeah,
it's enjoying doing the tree, it's enjoying getting presents, it's enjoying seeing the elf, it's enjoying parents, grandparents going and seeing them in the nativity. I think that's why the pressure comes with it, because you know the importance of each moment as a child and how important it is for them, their kind of time at Christmas, because you want them to have the same, from my point of view, the same love and joy that Christmas has provided me through the years. You want that to be passed down onto them so that they get older, they have their own kind of traditions, they have their own fun, they have their own kind of joy in different ways, and it's little moments. And again, that the elf thing, it's just about seeing the faces in the morning. Yeah,
and I think now Zach will know I've had some form of influence with the elf when it's just, I stuck his head in the fridge and his legs are just out. He's like, were you on Elf on the Shelf last night? I was like, no, it's the elf, mate. It's the elf. And then when Sam does it, it's all elegant and still messy, but not a mess, if that makes sense. It's an elegant mess. Yeah. That's a compliment, Sam, by the way. If you're listening, that's a massive compliment. But Sam really enjoys the crafty side of things. So she did all these boxes that you probably would pay someone £30, £40. And to be fair, they've got a business, local, keep them going. But Sam thought, actually, money's time, I'm going to do it myself, and did it for about £14 instead of paying 40 quid. So that saving, like, it's still the same as you'd get paying someone which do a great job, but like those little things, it's those gimmicks that, because it's Christmas, they whack an extra tenner on, and you're thinking you can't keep up. But Elf on the Shelf, I think sometimes it can get a bit silly, and you see people drawing on kids' faces. I think we're a bit like
funniest ones.
Do you think?
Me coming from a totally different perspective.
That girl was like, I can't go to school like this. He's drawn on my face. That was a northern accent, by the way. Again, sorry for anyone northern listening to the podcast. But I do love it. But I can see how it can get carried away in a friendship circle. Because friendships have a WhatsApp group, and look what our elf's done tonight. What's your elf done? You're thinking, I think I just got to bed. I've not really done it.
The behavioural influence of it as well, because obviously some kids, I don't know, I've heard from a few parents have asked about this because I was interested. It's not obviously something I'm well clued up on. I said, what effect do you think Elf on the Shelf has on a kid? And they say, well, they start to misbehave, saying, oh no, Elf did this, Elf did that, and they start playing up. So there's obviously that side of things as well. So I think it's up to the parents how far they want to go with that and how mischievous they want the elf to be. And like you say there, not getting carried away with it and not going over the top and overdoing it. I think it's probably the best way to manage things, to be honest.
I think it's an easy one to be creative and let the kids enjoy it. It doesn't cost a fortune. Another thing, advent calendars. So we've got chocolate ones. And my kids weren't fussed about kind of chocolate and they want something else. So some of them cost a fortune, absolute fortune. Some of the people that I've heard what they've got the kids for advent calendar, it's like you just open a box and you open a door and there's something inside. That's as simple as that. But my wife's bought little kind of boxes and just put Haribos in, and it looks beautiful. It looks part of the decoration, and it's another way of bringing the cost down to. Again, not exposing them to too much and getting everything they want and going, well, actually, we've created our own little advent calendar in a simple way. And again, that's in terms of managing it and a little bit of experience and not going, you can have that. And they're disappointed that they haven't got this one in, B&M or wherever, quirky you called it last time.
Quirky B&M. Hey, they're taking over the Wilko's shop, formerly known as Wilko's, but like the artist formerly known as Prince, at Park Farm. So somebody even buzzing, she can walk up to B&M now and have a quirky walk as well. But with Advent calendars, so I know we're wrapping up, but Zach used to have the Match Attacks ones, and they used to be like 20 quid. And you're thinking, really? And he wanted one this year, but it's 35 quid. And we were like, no, mate, like it's not happening. So he got lots of little ones, but dead funny. He got this big, tall Cadbury's one, this house one. It got little Cadbury's chocolates in, like the fun size bars. The first 4 days were chocolates he hated. So Curly Whirlies and Chomps. So every day he's going, got Curly Whirly again. I said, don't you worry about that, mate. That'll come to me. So the little fun bits of Adwin, but then he said, like, he's got a science one. So cheap one, but it's got all the facts about the solar system. And he's loving it. So, and again, you're like, learning.
There's a fun way you can spin it.
Fun way, and he loves the little facts, but you can get carried away. I do see Advent calendars where females or males will have these Nivea ones or L'Oreal ones,
Yankee
whatever.
Candle,
Yankee Candle, they're like 160 quid for these, and you're going,
madness.
What are you doing?
Absolute madness, mate.
You've got 25 candles that you won't light anyway.
But just a quick question before I wrap it up. So when we're talking about, obviously Christmas is expected to be a fun time of the year and everyone loves it, and the enjoyment. Of course, Christmas can have a different meaning for anyone. We talked about depression, anxiety, and the last couple, and talked about how difficult it can be for a dad. And I think maybe the pressures that come with all of that just can divide maybe the different types of people that are going into Christmas. The ones that are absolutely dreading it. So coming up to November, December time, as a parent, there's added pressure, of course, but anyone that's maybe lost loved ones or are in that state of depression, anxiety, and feeling like they constantly have to smile, enjoy themselves, which in theory is what Christmas is about. So that must add extra pressure to anyone, parent, someone going into that Christmas period. And when you're talking about some of these kind of stats, it kind of, I don't think it's just about parents and their situation and the kind of financial side of things and the loads of things they have to do on top of working and looking after kids. But it must be quite daunting for some people coming into that Christmas period.
Yeah, and I think you've got to think about whatever else thinks, and we're going to keep reflecting on it, is that everyone wants to show off, and I think the influence of social media on mental health is only going to continue to grow and grow and grow, because everyone just wants to show off what they've got and who they're doing, and I've done this for Marky, I've done that, but it takes away from your own, what goes on in your household, what happens with you guys. I think that sometimes you just switch off from social media. Like, I'm not very active on social media. Like, I probably posted maybe once in the past year and a half, 2 years, which is probably quite uncommon for my age. But then I think there's a large proportion of people my age that are starting to switch on to that and switch off from social media, because the impact on it is just, it piles on the pressure. And like I say, when you've got all these people wanting to do this, that, the other, and rather than stay in your lane and focus on what you're looking at what everyone else is doing. When you stop looking at everyone else, you stop focusing on what's in front of you and what matters to you. And what matters to you is your family and your kids. So you got to stay true to that, really, and manage that expectation within your own household, and just say, listen, not every family's the same. We'll do things our way, they'll do things theirs. And like I say, it's just about how you manage that, whether it's going off for a bit of quiet time or listen to a bit of music and switch off. It's whatever you turn to, really.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to kind of wrap it all up is we've talked about different experiences and different lives, and that's probably more prominent and more defining at the Christmas period. And we talked about social media, externally showing what you've got and what Christmas is supposed to mean to you, but actually it's the family, it's the togetherness, it's the time that you maybe cherish, which is the important part. The added pressure of finances and the having to be at every single moment of your kid's journey in Christmas can be daunting, can be overwhelming. But ultimately, like you say, you've got your own journey, you've got your own lives to live, and you've got your own traditions to build. That might be very different to what someone puts on social media, but it's just as important. So that the little bits that you do with your kids for them to learn that they're fortunate. Yeah. And that they have an opportunity of giving back. And we talk about giving, we're giving gifts, but actually it's about giving time, it's about giving love, it's about giving attention and an opportunity to help other people as well. So we have the social media that is going to be rife. It's going to keep on building. It's going to keep on adding more pressure. But the more you can internalize it within your family, within yourself, and create your own memories moving forward in that Christmas period is probably the most important. But we have to remember that it isn't just a joyous time for everyone. It can be stressful and it can be daunting. So I suppose any time that you can spend with other people, doing the little bits that you're doing and creating new memories for yourself and your family is the all important part for the festival.
I'll start saying it again now.
Yeah.
And then when is it you stop it when you come back? Oh, Happy New Year. You're like, you get to February going, it's done now, mate.
I was walking saying you're right.
Yeah. But anyway, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, it's been good to see you both again.
Merry Christmas, everyone who's listening as well.
Yeah.
Cheers, Barks.
Pleasure.
Cheers.